Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is arriving at an unusually pivotal moment. You see, Black Flag is remembered in many quarters as the purest iteration of Assassin's Creed, before the series sprawled towards system-heavy RPG mechanics and overly vast, if undeniably beautiful, open worlds. Edward Kenway's beloved adventure occupied a distinct swashbuckling fantasy, whilst cohering to the Assassin series' identity, and it's this combination the developer has struggled to recapture in the 13 years since. Making Black Flag Resynced's timing feel even more essential, however, is that the industry hasn't fully satisfied the pirate fantasy popularized in the Jackdaw's wake. And with the developer searching for a renewed sense of direction, with both Assassin's Creed and as a multinational company, this remake carries significant weight. For them, it isn't just about nostalgia, it's about proving to players that they understand why one of the series' most revered entries still has relevance. And so far, as pre-order sales are mounting, it seems like players are starting to resonate again with what the developer is offering.
I truly will forget my crimes.
That's the gamble I'm taking. What the hell? Now we dance!
When Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag launched in 2013, it refined the Assassin's Creed formula by shifting focus toward the fantasy of piracy while still anchoring the series' core identity. It balanced hightailing open seas exploration and discovery with urban line-of-sight parkour and stealth, feeling both expansive yet still grounded. Crucially, you weren't signposted by systems or narrow progression paths. You were set loose across the Caribbean, free to chase naval battles, treasure, and story at your own pace. In many ways, Black Flag was Assassin's Creed at its most accessible, its most confident, and arguably its most culturally resonant. What followed, however, wasn't always a meaningful evolution for the series. Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Syndicate adhered closely to the established formula, but were beset by technical issues and a growing sense of repetition, signaling series fatigue had set in. Assassin's Creed Origins was the developer's response, a reinvention toward full-scale RPG design, with Odyssey and Valhalla following suit. These games were commercially dominant to be sure, but they shifted the series away from the immediacy that Black Flag did well to maintain. You see, the act of being an assassin became increasingly more of a dormant layer within a more demanding structure, and it took until 2023's Assassin's Creed Mirage before the developer scaled back to stealth. Then came Assassin's Creed Shadows, a title that openly straddles the series' two conflicting identities. To be clear, the franchise hasn't failed so much as splintered off, splitting between blockbuster RPGing and the focused, character-driven drama of its roots. Seen through 13 years of retrospect, Black Flag stands as both a high point and as arguably the last time the series nailed freedom and focus alike. Tack onto this the enduring appeal of pirate fiction, and how the genre has proven surprisingly difficult for other games to realize. Sea of Thieves has found long-term success to be sure, but has leaned into multiplayer chaos and emergent storytelling, leaving a narrative-driven structure back at port. And despite years of development, Skull and Bones arrived as a systems-driven, live service experience, with a mobile-style grind that fails to capitalize on pirating's romanticism. Even more experimental takes, like last year's Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, show that pirate themes still have appeal, although that Yakuza spin-off stops short of fully embracing them. Truthfully, Windrose, launched recently into early access, appears the closest to realizing Black Flag's blend of authored narrative, player-driven freedom, and cinematic spectacle, with sea shantiness and open sea sailing all of its own. Windrose, unlike those other pirate games, knows how it should feel to be the scourge of the seven seas. The game still has a few updates ahead before it becomes the real pirating deal, and this is where Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is poised to swoop in and plunder an audience hungry for a fully fledged pirate adventure. The developer has confirmed that the remake will retain the original's focus, bypassing the overwhelmingly dense RPG-like systems of Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. And what's more, the original's drawbacks are being addressed here, namely the tedious tailing missions, with stealth mechanics and pirate lore both being expanded upon. And with next-gen ocean rendering technology, the Caribbean has never looked more authentic, aside from, well, actually just being there in real life, of course.
Hey boys! Ho, just hear the old man say, goodbye, very well, goodbye, very well. Oh, don't just hear the
She's the cutter!
There is, however, an underlying apprehension. The remake's association with the developer introduces unavoidable scrutiny, shaped by the troubled development of Skull and Bones. Years of delays, shifting directions, and a lukewarm reception on release has cast a shadow on Black Flag Resynced. Given the same studio is at the helm, there are questions of execution and of trust. For players and the developers alike, Black Flag Resynced isn't just an opportunity to revisit a classic, but it's a test of whether the studio behind it can deliver a polished experience at a level fans and newcomers of the original game deserve. By and large, Black Flag Resynced's player base know what they want from a remake, and are perhaps encouraged by the iterations shown, but it is possible that few will be fully committed until the remake's promises are actually realized on launch. Black Flag Resynced then represents an opportunity for revalidation. For the developer, sure, yes, but for the company themselves on an institutional level. A smooth, well-received launch won't just restore confidence in an ailing team, but could actually re-establish the developer's place across the industry. You see, as corporate and financial pressures have intensified, the developer has undergone numerous restructuring efforts, including studio closures and mass layoffs, which is frustrating, as part of a wider reassessment of its production pipeline. At this very juncture, it feels like the developer couldn't do anything but remake Black Flag. It's a comparatively low-risk release, with potential to reap substantial returns, both financially and in terms of reputation. Furthermore, Black Flag Resynced is the first title to emerge from the company's newly unified structure, where consolidating all of its flagship franchises under one banner should bring tighter creative oversight and streamlined focus moving forward. Again, pre-order figures point to Black Flag Resynced delivering a home run, and it's that potential success the developer are banking on to demonstrate that structural changes are enough to address creative challenges. Still, Black Flag Resynced likely won't be measured purely on technical upgrades, nor performance or nostalgic appeal. No, the remake has potential to reconnect with something more fundamental, namely the sense of identity Assassin's Creed has been wrangling with in the years since the original Black Flag. Also, it could present the most fully realized pirate fantasy yet, the blueprint laid out by the original that the industry has yet to truly replicate. If it falls short, however, the implications will be hard to ignore. At worst, it would reinforce the notion that the series' past successes are firmly in the rearview mirror, growing more distant as time goes by. The developer has burned a lot of goodwill to get to this stage, so even revisiting the enduring legacy of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag might not be enough to steady the ship long term. However, if there's one title in the company's canon that can restore former glory, it's Black Flag. Now, all we can do is wait for July 9th, but if pre-order hype is any indication at all, the remake looks set to end the year as one of the biggest releases. So, what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.